Hello again, this is Gabriel. This is the second of 3 videos, this one being on how to create hyperlinks in Excel to various files. In the previous video, I showed you how to name files in a file structure that was according to the EU grant budget that we all submitted. The first thing I'm going to do is open up Microsoft Excel. Ours is Excel 2010, so yours might look a little bit different, and therefore you might have to follow a few different steps, but generally they're the same to do this. In the previous tutorial, you might have noticed that I actually had a template budget in the top level of the folder. I'm going to go ahead and show you how I navigate to that and make a few notes on why it's a good practice to follow it that way, or to place your budget file in there. Again, I use Dropbox. It's a great thing. Alright, so this would be your what I call the top level folder. And I might show you ours. We actually have 3 top level folders, each for our 3 budgetary cycles, 11, 12, 12, 14, all the way to 12, 13, all the way to 2014, and a couple of other funding sources that we have. So when you download this budget tutorial package, and within it I've got the files already set up for you, the tutorial budget template, and a couple of tutorials that are step-by-step, you can just rename that to whatever you'd like. If you'll notice there's an underscore there, putting that at the beginning of a file name makes a really handy way to bring your most used files to the very top. That's how we keep our budget files at the top, so we can always access them easily. Alright, so let's get to it. I'll include this in there for you, and it's a budget template. Alright, notice that it's set up much like the files that we set up in the previous video, by category, and then by event type, and then finally all the way down to line items. I'm going to go ahead and go all the way to the top. You're going to see category A, A.1, A.11, and then line items. That's just like the setup we have here, A.1, A.11. And I'll show you that we're in A11, international travel. There it is. In the previous video, we created an example document, actually in activity 2 of conferences and workshops, so I'm going to go down there. And we did it in ground transportation. So let's say you had a receipt for a taxi for one of your invited guests, or maybe a staff member, and you need to go ahead and reimburse it. You might just put the name or something for John Smith in here. I won't go ahead and fill in the rest. So you're going to click once over in this column here, or wherever you're going to keep your hyperlinks inside your budget file. You're going to want to go up to Insert. Again, this is 2010, so it might be in a different place for you. Go over to Hyperlink and click that. It's going to open up this dialog box. This is where we're going to create the hyperlink. Alternatively, I'm going to cancel out. If you just press Control-K simultaneously, it'll bypass trying to find the hyperlink button. In case you're in 2007 or an earlier version, that'll work for you and you won't have to worry about finding the button. So we were in the second activity in ground transportation, so I'm going to go into Activities, Conferences and Workshops, Activity 2. And this is why we set up that structure, so it would be easy to find things. Ground transportation. And then there's that example document we created. I'm going to go ahead and click it once. If you click it twice, it actually puts it in here, and your name is going to be the actual location on your computer, and it's really long and cumbersome. So I'm going to show you how to fix that, and in the future you won't have to worry about it. A1, 2, 3, the second example document. Let's go ahead and move your cursor up to this text to display box. Click and hold, drag over to the right till you get to the end. and then just drag backwards until you get to that first backslash. And that's going to leave the name of the file unselected. Press backspace or delete, and now all you're going to display is the file name. Click OK, and that's the hyperlink to a file on your computer. If these files ever get broken, you're going to know exactly where to find them still, though. That's why we have that syntax. You're going to know that it's in your budget file, and you're going to just go into A123, and if the link was broken, you don't have to worry about it because you'll know just where to find it in the future. So if you were to click it, it would open up, in this case, Notepad, since it was just a text document. And you're going to see it's A123 example document 2. And we didn't have to go through My Documents or through any hullabaloo just to open up the file. We just had to click the hyperlink. Again, this is the second of 3 videos on how to create a link to a file on your computer within Excel. Thank you.